everybody! Welcome to Drinking with Ray. I don't know why I did that with my shirt. Beer Lao. It's a Laos. Beer from Laos when I went there. Man, I only spent like a week in that country. I wish I spent a lot more time. I dream to go back there. It's one of my favorites. Alright, I got this plastic homemade, I don't know. A winery makes it, but maybe it's homemade. This is wine from Sicily that is sold at these tiny shops called the Enoteca that was in this tiny village up in the mountains over there called Monreale. So I'm in Palermo Central. So this is another city up there, Monreale, which has interesting history and has a beautiful church that's really old, like 800 years old. And also I have some interesting deli meats. Yeah, man. Deli meats, cured meats, are huge in Italy. So, let's talk about them and try it. All right, what should I try first? Let's pour a glass of wine. Why not? All right, so this place up there, Monreale. I think I'm saying it wrong. I thought it was like Montreal at first when I saw it. Monreale. I don't know. All right, it's a small village in the mountains. And it's super local. Like, it was such a cool experience going there. Like, it was just odd. No tourists. By the famous church, there was lots of tourists. But mostly European tourists. Because of, COVID. But it was such a cool experience because unlike Palermo, it was like a real close-knit community. Everybody knew each other. The guy at the coffee shop was real nice. We met some other nice people. We were walking around in like areas that tourists don't usually go to. People were like, what the heck are you guys doing? Kind of looking at us crazy. It was really cool. Sicily, baby. Sicily, fresh wine. Let's give it a try. Okay. Woo! Wow. That's really good. Great flavor. That's not, I was afraid of it. There's not this other liquor that they have here. It's like a wine, but someone said it's made from sugar, fermenting things. I don't know what that is. I'm glad it's not that. I've tried that. It wasn't my favorite thing. So I'm glad this is like normal wine. Yeah, it's super cheap too. This was like €1.50, I think, maybe. 150. I think it might have been €1 for a big jug. So this is fresh wine that's unaged, and if you've seen my other videos about wine, the history of wine in Italy and Sicily goes back many, 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 many thousands of years. The Carthaginians were here. The Phoenicians were drinking wine on Sicily 2,700 years ago. The Greeks came here in their little city-state kind of places like Syracuse. They were drinking wine. The Romans were here drinking wine. This connects with this city, Monreale. The Arabs that came here from North Africa. Oh, I don't have a map of the region behind me. I have a map of Asia back there. All right, so I'm in this Sicily. No, that's India. Sicily. It's right there. So Arabs from North Africa started coming in here around 800s. Not really Arabs. They were Muslim people. They were a mix of like Berbers and, there were Arabs coming over to North Africa at that time, conquering and setting up Muslim communities and going all the way to places like Spain. The Muslims aren't supposed to drink or eat pork. So this is not a Muslim halal thing that I'm doing here. Which one's this one? It doesn't say. Oh man, that's too bad. Anyways, I got a bunch of deli meats I never seen at this market the other day, and I should try them. Oh man, I didn't organize it like that. I was I was kind of going crazy on the people at the market. Yeah, there's no way to tell. It has all the names here. This is Salami, I think, Napoli. All right, let's give it a try. Yeah, good. I've tried this in Naples. I got it because I was just in Naples. Alright, so the Byzantines were hanging on to Sicily for a little while, but they were a little shaky, you know. Their empire was kind of falling apart. They had a big war with the Persians that were Zoroastrians, which is a really cool ancient religion. And other people like the Slavs and Avars were pressuring them, and different Central Asian peoples were coming down, and it's getting kind of crazy. The Bulgars from Bulgaria. Ooh, what's this one? All right, so this one I think is Sicilian Copa. Nice. All right, so the Arab, North African Muslim advance, they went all the way to Spain. Started coming here. Well, the first raids on Sicily were actually when the Prophet Muhammad was still alive in the 600s AD. But a couple hundred years later, they started coming strong. And they started pillaging the land a little bit and setting up bases and slowly taking over areas. And eventually, you know, I don't have the exact dates. I'm not going to read anything. Sometime in the 700s, 800s, they took over all of Sicily, the Muslim people. And a ton of Muslim people moved here from, like, where Tunisia is, different places like that. They made their capital, this city I'm in right now, Palermo. So there was all kinds of people living here. Greeks, Latin peoples from the Roman, you know, descendants from the Roman era, a couple hundred years before. Greeks, Byzantines, Hebrews, Jewish people, probably all kinds of different slaves from different races. They were freaked out. So, especially the bishop, when the Muslims were coming in, no one knew what to expect with the Muslim. Ooh, look at this one. The bishop of Palermo got up and fled to the city in the mountains where this wine is from. So initially, as I'm eating pork, talking about the Muslim Palermo, this video is not halal. You know, I'm just talking about history here. I think this is called Salami Spagnola. Ooh, that was a good one. That was unique, a little different. Alright, I got all this stuff all over the place here. Let me get organized. Initially, they were like, this is going to be a Muslim-only island. You know, the infidel, that kind of thing. But they were kind of cool. They let people have some freedoms of religion, and it was a multicultural place. Initially, they weren't going to do that, but like non-Muslims could have other, you know, they couldn't have some jobs like being in the army and stuff like that. But people were doing all kinds of things around Palermo. That city flourished during this time for like 300 years. The Emirate of Sicily, which at first it was connected to a caliphate in North Africa that was established, and then it became its own thing, its own country. And how this ties into the wine and meats. All right, so there was some notice and some stories, some scandalous stories. Muslims aren't supposed to drink alcohol, but they had these like strip clubs kind of thing in Palermo, Muslim men that were perfectly good Muslims in the daytime. The high class societies would go to these strip clubs where they would drink bootleg liquor that was brought in by Christian and Hebrew people, black market. And some other guy came to Palermo and he noticed that everyone living on the coast in these villages weren't being good Muslims. And, you know, religious law, that kind of stuff is kind of, you know, I'm a real individualist guy. Do what you gotta do what you want to do. If you're not like killing someone, really hurting someone, doing something terrible. You know, thievery, like bad thievery. I don't know. But, you know, this was in the Middle Ages. The city was flourishing. Alright, moving on. Oh, there's this story of Muslim and nuns. Two people that don't drink. Sorry, gotta look into the camera here. Hello. Two people that don't drink. They would hang out together and drink. Nuns and Muslim people. It's a bit crazy in Palermo. So it was a real fluid, easygoing kind of place. Everyone was all working and living together. There were Jewish people here too. So they cultivated foodstuffs really well in Palermo. They became experts at many things like citrus and salty meats. So a lot of these deli meats, not just Sicilian, Italian, that made its way to America and everything, they originate from the cultivation of high society Palermo in the Arab times. Pretty cool, right? Alright, let's try something else. You know, there might have been salting pork. Not supposed to eat pork, it's not halal. You know, I don't know. They got really good at preserving meats. Alright, this is prosciutto. I really like prosciutto. This is Prosciutto Toscano. Ooh, so this is from Northern Italy style. Nice. Oh, it is different. Not so salty, the Toscano. Never tried that before. Alright, so where am I going with this? I don't know. This is just another drinking with Ray. I wanted to try these deli meats, try this jug of wine. Oh, so that place up there in Monreale where I got this stuff from. The Muslims didn't end up slaughtering everyone like they were so scared of, so the Christians were allowed to exist still, and they had some churches, and a lot of mosques were built. I don't know which. Alright, what else do I have here? Everyone coexisted. It was beautiful. You know, not perfect. The number one market in Muslim Palermo was, oh, here's what I haven't tried, was slaves. Of all colors and creeds. But they were treated kind of nicely, I heard. I don't know. You think of the word slave and it's kind of rough, man. Speaking of Slavics, that's where the word comes from. That's how Eastern European people were viewed as slaves. All right, this is really interesting. Oh, I just destroyed it. So this is like a mortadella with olives and little red peppers, I think, inside it. Let me get a better view of this one. I'm a former deli worker. I worked slicing meat. California, New York City, Manhattan, and Portland, Oregon for years. That was my job. It was a great job, paid the bills, it was active, got to talk to a lot of people, learned a lot about life in general. It was what I needed at the time of my life. All right, so that's how the whole thing looks. So I appreciate this kind of stuff, man. I spent years behind the machine. This is crazy. So the fat is right there. Years behind the slicer machine. I even almost sliced my pinky off one time. Can you see that? Where's the camera? Where's it on this side? Oh, it is on this side. There's a little scar right there. You can see it. Oh, that hurt so bad. I was bleeding like crazy. The tip came off and blood was squirting out. I never wanted to. I love the job, the experience. I could do it again, but I never want to do it again. That's it. I retire. I've never seen this before. All right. So Monreale and Arabic Palermo ended up kind of having some problems with succession, and people were, which one haven't I tried yet? People were, different powerful sultans and families were trying to take over. Palermo as a city actually was 80% Muslim at one point. That's crazy to think about, right? Which one haven't I tried yet? I think I tried all of them. Yeah, I tried all of them. All right, good. So we have, Giardiniera. All right, I think that's what this one was called with the olives. We had Prosciutto Toscano. You saw the prosciutto. We had Sicilian, Napoli salami, Coppa Siciliana, and Salami Spagnola. Spagnola, that sounds like Spanish. Herbe. Ooh, that's an old Greek goddess. I don't know which one is exactly which. Let's see here. Right, this one I think is the Spagnolo Herbe. Might be the Sicilian. Nice. Actually, this stuff, it's not that good for you. It has nitrates in it. This isn't very good for you either. So, do things at your own risk. Exercise, eat healthy foods too. Don't eat meats all the time. I heard it's pretty not great for you. Prosciutto, I think, doesn't have nitrates in it because they do it the ancient way, just with salt. But it preserves it. It's dead flesh, man. You gotta preserve it. It's gonna go bad. There's gotta be something. This one's Napoli, I think. Yeah, for sure. I had this in Naples. Sorry, I keep on going off track. And I don't look at the camera. Mixing history, wine, foods, my history, the history of the city. All right, so there was infighting in the 1100s. And, 1000s, late 1070s. And there were different factions of Muslim families in power and sultans. They were all kind of infighting. Divide and conquer, right? That's what the old saying is. That's what, a lot of times brought down the Native Americans because there were tribes that were mortal enemies that they just couldn't work together. That's what brought down so many places and times in history. That's a big problem with my country, America, and fucking politics there. The two fucking stupid ass parties. Don't get me started about that. Anyways, the island of Palermo was divided. It weakened a warrior culture who just came down and took southern Italy, the Normans, who were a couple hundred years later from being a mix of French and Scandinavian Vikings, which was up in northwest, the Duchy of Normandy, northwest France, who went into England, famously William the Conqueror, and they went into Ireland, and they went into the Byzantine Empire. They originally worked for them and turned on them, taking a bunch of their lands. They even sacked the capital, Istanbul. It was Constantinople at the time. They came down here to the divided Muslim territory and kind of peacefully just took over. A lot of people left back to North Africa. They're scared that we're going to get massacred. But once again, just like the generations before, when the Arabs came in, the Christian warrior culture, Normans, kind of came here and they saw how amazing everything was. They were like the science, the food, the architecture, the culture, the clothes. They even started adopting Arabic clothing and the engineering. They had the Arab Muslim engineers build all these incredible buildings, palaces, and churches. The church where this wine comes, Monreale, the interior is all gold and has all these Arabic, Muslim geometric designs. It's freaking incredible, man. Where I got this wine, that's why I went up there. It's up in the mountains. It's been there since the 1100s or something, 1130, something like that. The main palace of Palermo was built and became a Norman kingdom of Sicily. The cool part is that they kept that coexisting vibe because of the expertise of the not just Muslim but Jewish population who spoke a Creole language of Hebrew and Arabic in Palermo. It's crazy. It's awesome. And Greek people lived here, Phoenician people, all kinds of crazy stuff, man. It's getting close to 20 minutes. Let's wrap it up. So the Normans, under several kings, Roger II and some other names, they kept the city and island flourishing for a few hundred years. A couple generations of successive kings, and then through some royal deal, it was passed on to some German family, the island, and after that it started going downhill. Swabians, I think they're called. And there was massacres. The unification of all those peoples was destroyed, sadly. So it lasted from, about the year 700 to 1300, give or take, which was the golden era of both Muslim and Norman rule of Sicily. This was the capital, Palermo. I got this wine from a really cool place in the mountains called Monreale, one of the coolest places I've ever visited. I just hit 2 years abroad the other day. I'm eating deli meats, not slicing them anymore like I did for 8 years. What can I say? I can't complain, man. I love the history here. It's so cool. My wife's ancestry is partially from here. 25%. Peace out. Thanks for drinking with Ray. Maybe you learned something. Muslim Sicily. Tolerant, high-level place of 500,000 inhabitants. The third largest city in Europe, Palermo, was during that time. A golden age, even under the Normans, when re-Christianizing the leadership. A golden age of unification of religions and races that is unlike most any other time in history. Especially in those days where people killed each other. Life was cheap, man. And even today, really, if you think about it. Everyone was kind of equals. It was kind of cool. Except for the slaves, I guess. Alright, thanks for drinking with Ray. Today is September 28th, 2020. I don't know when I'll release this. This is a Laos. Shout out to Laos. Shout out to Sicily out there. Shout out to all these meats, different processes of cultivating these. Shout out to the pigs that they come from. I'm pretty sure this is all pork. Yeah, I should know that. It's all pork. All these products. This one is the coolest one. Tastes awesome. I've never seen something like that before. Look at this. Olives, and peppers in the meat, and a slice of fat on the side. Oh. Hail Yahweh. Maybe that's not what they say. Not hail. I'm sorry. Praise Yahweh, the Jewish God. Praise Jesus and God, the Holy Trinity, the Catholics, and also Allah Akbar to the Muslim. It's all connected, man. Just like Palermo was in those days. And Eastern Orthodox. Do the sign of the cross 3 times. They were here also, the Byzantines, Eastern Christianity. Okay, that's that. I'm gonna save these for later. Goodbye from Sicily. Ciao. Quick interlude, drinking with Ray. This one is not pork. This is beef. Pretty sure. It's like Brajola, I think. I should know this. Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe. Ooh, look at those cool bottles. Those are the owner's bottles. One wine there from 1957. Another one, 1967. Some other interesting things. Let's get a little closer. Appreciate food and libations history for now and forever. I will always. Yeah, out here, my balcony right now. There's the Massimo Theater. The mountains are back there. Oh, you can't really see them. It's hard to see because of the lighting. You can see them a little bit right there. Behind right there. There's huge mountains. all around Sicily. It's really crazy. And this is the heart of Palermo, man. This was Arabic and Norman and Roman and Phoenician, Carthaginian, Greek. Thousands of years of history all went down right down there. Thanks for drinking with Ray. And see you next time. Subscribe, be my friend on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. Links in the bottom. Ciao!